Hey, fourth graders. Okay, today we're going to be starting chapter 15. So you'll notice we're skipping over chapter 14. We're saving those writing chapters until we get to May, and then Mr. Whiting and I will decide which parts of those writing chapters we're going to have you complete at home. But for now, we're going to stick to grammar to make sure that you learn all the grammar that you need to know for fifth grade. And you can remember, I already told you way earlier this school year that prepositions were extremely important for you to understand before you go to fifth grade. Miss Smith told me specifically that prepositions, fourth graders have to know their prepositions in order to do well in fifth grade grammar. So today we're going to start that preposition lesson. I want you to watch the song and sing along with the song for the prepositions. I'm going to post that in Class Dojo each day along with the videos, and I want you to listen to that song and make sure you memorize, because that will be what will give you success as you work through this chapter. Okay, so what are prepositions? Prepositions are words that tell us the relationship between two different objects. So when I say, where is the math book? I could say the math book is in my desk. And in is a preposition. It tells us where something is located. And so it's telling us the relationship between the math book and the desk. The math book is in the desk. Okay, where's the spelling book? The spelling book is on the shelf. On is a preposition showing us where our spelling book is. Where is the desk? The desk is over there. Where is the pencil? The pencil is in my pencil pouch. So prepositions show the relationship between a noun or pronoun and other words in the sentence. The preposition always comes before the object, noun, or preposition or pronoun. So that before is key. There's always going to be words after a preposition, and we call those the adjectives and the objects of the preposition. So here's the preposition list. This one you'll notice doesn't include as many as the song. It's good to learn the song because that's the whole list. The fourth grade preposition list is a little bit smaller. So you can refer to these words on your page as you answer your questions in your work page. Now, for today, we're starting off here on page 275. And today you'll find us very simple because you must just underline the preposition. And if you're looking at the list and finding the words in the sentence, they match up perfectly, you'll be good to go. Lighthouses are built over oceans. The word that's the preposition is over. So you just underline over. Tells us where the lighthouses were built. Lighthouses warn sailors of dangerous waters. Warn sailors of dangerous waters. Number 3, the first lighthouse was built in Europe or in Egypt. In is your preposition. The Pharos lighthouse used fires for light. Underline for. The light was 400 feet above the ground. Above is your preposition. Same thing for number 6, although now you have to choose the preposition that makes sense in each sentence. I read a story about lighthouses. I read a story across lighthouses. Well, obviously about is the one that makes sense. That's what you do with a story. Number 7, the keeper and his family lived beside the lighthouse or lived against the lighthouse. Well, a family would live beside a lighthouse. Number 8, a severe storm beat the waves against the lighthouse or beat the waves with the lighthouse. Well, of course, that would be against. Number 9, the lighthouse keeper tended the lights after the top or at the top. Of course, at the top is what makes sense. He guided ships safely before the shore or safely to the shore. Well, to the shore is what makes sense. One night he saw the shape of a sinking ship or he saw the shape after a sinking ship. Well, he saw the shape of the sinking ship. The lighthouse keeper ran quickly in the stairs or quickly down the stairs. Well, obviously down the stairs. He shined his flashlight with the choppy waves or he shined his flashlight across the choppy waves. Well, he would shine his flashlight across the waves. The keeper pulled the struggling man to safety against ropes or with ropes. Well, he would pull him with ropes. Okay, so you're going to do the same on the back. Underline the preposition in each sentence and underline the preposition that makes sense. And then the last thing you have to do is apply and write Describe what your day might be like if you were a lighthouse keeper 100 years ago. Underline any prepositions you would use. Now, as we move on to reading, you're finishing up the last lesson in Unit 5. So it's a bit of a review lesson. For this, you're going to need to reread the story. You are going to reread the story about the night ride to River Station, the whole thing. Now, I know rereading stories is not our favorite thing to do, but rereading the story is important in establishing good comprehension, because when you read something more than once, you're going to understand it better the second time. So I want you to purpose in your heart to be a hard worker and actually reread the story. Don't just skip to the work page and fill in answers real fast. Go and reread the story to build that comprehension. Then you're going to go to work page 239 and you're going to mark in the answers about accurate facts. Remember, this is a historical fiction story, so historical facts make a story believable. An author of historical fiction often includes real people and events from the past that are important to his topic. So mark the facts that help to make Night at River Station believable. Marking the true facts. Then on the back, you have to research to find answers to the following questions about the Pony Express. So was there really a place called Devil's Slide along the Pony Express route? Let's do a little bit of research and let's find out. Okay, so as I do a bit of Google searching here, I typed in Devil's Slide Pony Express, and I can see a couple different articles that talk about it. So let's click on this one here about Devil's Slide, Utah. And let's see what this is. Devil's Slide is a geographical formation located near the border of Wyoming and northern Utah's Weber Canyon, near the community of Corydon in Utah, United States. It consists of two parallel limestone strata that have been tilted to lie vertical, going out certain amounts of feet. A highway runs past it so it can be seen from the road. So we know that Devil's Slide is a real thing. So what we need to determine is, did the Pony Express go through the Devil's Slide? Okay, so let's click on this one here and let's see what the story is about the Devil's Slide. Here you can see a good picture of it. It's a very odd little feature there. So you can see at first, here's a description. We can see the first pioneers traveled through this area. We can see who named it. Okay, so it keeps going on about a lot of different things. Okay, so I didn't see anything in this article about the Pony Express, but it did talk a lot about how pioneers and railroad types of engineers all experienced it. So let's go back and click on the next one here about the Pony Express and the historical trail of the Pony Express. Okay, so we can see here something called Devil's Gate, landmark and entrance to this river where the Pony Express trail runs through. Lots of information we could read about here. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look up one more thing. Now I'm going to look up to see a little bit more specifically what is the Devil's Slide on the Pony Express trail. Okay, as we do a little more research here, we can see here's a question. Was there really a place called Devil's Slide along the Pony Express route? And we can see the only answer it gives us here is that it's a name given to a steep, rocky location located between Montana. And we can search for this question here. We can see, yes, we can see more about this Devil's Slide. All right, though, I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer from the answer key. And I think this is what we're seeing as well as we do this research. Although the Devil's Slide is really in California, it was not likely part of the Pony Express route. But on the Pony Express route, there was a place called Devil's Gate. So the answer to this question is simply no. This is a real place, but probably the Pony Express did not really go through here. Okay, then question 2, where would a Pony Express rider place the mochila? Draw a picture or describe it in words. Okay, so let's see. Probably from your story, you already know, but let's look and see what a mochila is. Okay, mochila is a backpack. So where would a Pony Express rider probably put a backpack? Well, you know, I could even add in a Pony Express and let's see what comes up as we Google this. Ah, now this helps us even more. Look at this. So this is his saddle. So he would put this mochila, it's a leather cover put over the horse's saddle, and it was used as a mail bag. Okay, so you can write down he would put it over the top of his saddle. You can see how the pouches hang down on the side. And then you can draw a little picture of this there in the box. Okay, number 3, what name was used for the locking pockets on the mochila that held the mail bags? Ah, we can see that right here. Made of leather with 4 pockets, or cantinas. C-A-N-T-I-N-A-S. What book was distributed to each Pony Express rider? Maybe you know this from the story, but let's take a look and research it and see. Oh, look, it is probably listening to me right now, and it already knows that I want to ask this question. So here we go. The Pony Express Bible is what was given to each rider. It's a little bit creepy that my computer's listening to me and knows what I want to Google. Okay, so for number 4, what book was distributed to each Pony Express rider? That was the Bible here. Then you've got 2 questions down below. Number 5, explain how an author's research is important to making a historical fiction story enjoyable. Then number 6, on your own paper, write a question that you have after reading and research your question and write the answer. You might even be able to fit that right down there in the bottom of the page and not have to actually use a whole sheet of paper unless you want to do that extra work. But you could write down a simple little question, Google it, and see what answer you get for that question. Okay, so that's your reading assignment for today. Now for spelling, you're on page 118, starting list 30. And you're working again with some syllables and the stressed and unstressed syllables. At the top, it says some syllables end with an unstressed vowel pattern spelled with the EN, IN, ON, or AIN. The AIN pattern is used in the unstressed syllable gain and tain. So sort the words, put the EN ones on their side, the ON ones in their list, and the IN ones, and then put the TAIN and the GAIN. Then put your challenged words in the sentence, million, and then millennium. Millennium has to do with 1,000 years. Okay, so you'll put that in there for that, and that will be the end for your ELA today.